I think when there is violence in the world, a distressing event in our own lives or in the community, the call to go into worship is not the only thing that Quakers do, but it ought to be the first thing that we do. My name is Stephanie Preston Hughes. I'm a member of the Orland Quaker Meeting in Orlando, Florida, and I am a licensed mental health counselor by profession. On June 12th, 2016, in Orlando, Florida, there was a shooting at the Pulse Nightclub, just a few miles down the road from Orland Quaker Meetinghouse. And I woke up that morning to dozens of messages on my smartphone asking if I was okay, did I hear what happened at Pulse, and I felt like I just got catapulted into some nightmare. I've been out as a gay person for more than 20 years. And been a Quaker for, 15 years. I have many gay male friends who are Latino and who went to Pulse regularly. I used to go to Pulse. And during worship on that Sunday, I was struck with grief on a personal level. What if students that I had counseled in my therapy office were there? What if my own friends and coworkers were there? And I started getting lots of text messages and emails, not only from Quakers in my own Orlando Quaker monthly meeting, but also other friends in Florida, people on the Friends for LGBTQ Concerns listserv. And my first response was to think, oh my gosh, what do I do? And it occurred to me that I had no idea what to do in response to this massive tragedy. And the only thing I could think of was, we have to worship. And after many people said, what are we doing, Stephanie? What are we doing? I recognized that the answer was simple. We just have to worship. It was like lightning within hours. And I later learned that Friends meetings in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canberra, Australia, Pendle Hill, Ohio, Durham, North Carolina, almost every state, many countries in Europe, other continents, held worship at the time. What we're really doing when we hold someone, something, a situation in the light is that we're opening ourselves up, we're clearing away mental chatter, we're getting out of our thoughts, and we're allowing voice of spirit to show us what is the answer here. What can you do? It was a powerful moment of learning for me. I knew and have always known in my head that I don't have to have the answer and I don't have to know what to do. But in that moment of tragedy, when I was really deeply affected by this terrible act of violence in my own community, and I really didn't know what to do, the first thing I went to was, I just have to worship, that's all. And it was from that coming together of spirit that friends here in Orlando, friends in other Quaker communities sent minutes of support to us, made donations to LGBTQ organizations in Orlando. I still have an email folder that I saved of, I think, 500 or so emails from around that time. And when I feel a sense of disconnection, I go and look at those because it reminds me how held in the light. So I have that learning in my body that being held in the light in a difficult time makes a difference. It makes all the difference.
I'm here at Orlando Friends Meeting in Orlando, Florida, just to say thank you for watching this QuakerSpeak video. We release a new video every Thursday, and you can subscribe to the project by clicking this button over here. You can see all the videos we've ever released down here. You can support the project for as little as $1 per video. That button is just below me. Thanks again. Have a great Thursday.